everyone. It's Diane, the massage mentor, and I am here with Till. Hi, Till.
Hey, howdy. How you doing?
Very good. I'm digging the hat, man. I'm digging the hat. I still feel like the hat. I don't know the hat. I just need to know more about the hat.
I was just out on the back 40, kind of working the stock. Jumped in for the call. The cows are happy though.
Beautiful.
Gave them a little bit of work. We do body work on our stock here, you know. They're happy cows. We take care of them. Vegan diet.
You have cows for reals?
We got like a whole herd of bulls and everything out there. Yep. Bulls, cows, the whole works. A few calves this time of year. They're happy. If I could do, I'm not going to mess with it. If I could do a screen share, I could show you some pictures of our cows here, but I don't.
Do you really have cows?
We got cows. We got cows like in the back field, but they're not mine. I go out there and just keep them company sometimes.
I was like, gosh, there's so much I still have to learn about Till.
Define really what you mean really have cows. Define what you mean by that.
Well, it's been a little while since I've gotten to talk to you live on Facebook, but I'm lucky enough that I've gotten to know you a little bit offline, and I think you're just such a fabulous guy. So I think I'm a little more comfortable this time than I was the first time we talked.
Okay, well, good. No, it's the mutual fan club. You know? So enjoy what you do and getting to know you and seeing the impact you're making on the world.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
So one thing I wanted to get into a little bit is one of the things I've been curious and more curious about is how teachers kind of like view, our view of ourselves is sometimes different than how the world views us. And I just want to know a little bit more about how, with your classes, what it is that you feel is unique about them, and what is it that you're really trying to produce? Woo! How's it feel, Till?
I'm the wrong guy to ask in some ways. I mean, it's like if someone asks you, like, what kind of massage do you do? It's like a tough question. I've asked my clients, is it a way they could describe it better than I could? Except I can tell you what I mean from my side as a teacher. How it comes across, again, that would be
perfect. Like exactly.
People in the training. What am I thinking about? I don't even know how to say it in a way that makes sense. I want to get people working with the person, not just the body.
Yes.
And yet, all the stuff we do is hands-on. We're teaching hands-on techniques, and it's pretty clear, it's pretty technical, it's pretty organized. And yet, so much of it is how you interact with the person on the table and how you involve them in the work. And really the big question, I think, facing all of us is, what do we do with the fact that a lot of clients show up and just want to be worked on? What do we do when they come and just want to say, fix me or relax me or make me feel better? Or I've done my part. I got myself here. Now you do the rest. That kind of attitude, is tough. It's a tough one to work with. And yet it's a setup. And it's the expectations that people have when they say, I'm going to get a massage. But like my cows, I mentioned working on my cows. I get them involved. I get them like taking big cow breaths. I get them like, I say, wag your tail a little bit here while I work on your spine. Get them to raise their head up and down, chew their cud while we're like doing that neck work, all that kind of stuff. So like active movement. That's the simplest way to get people involved. But really, it's more like it's two things. One, it's a system, having a system that the therapist can say, here's what I'm doing and why, so I'm clear about that. And the clients get a sense too, like, oh, the therapist is clear. They know what they're doing and why. And then two, having enough schmooze power or charisma or willingness just to play or whatever it is that it gets the clients interested and involved, because so much of it is just an interaction, and you don't have to talk a lot. It can be right through your touch or right through the techniques you're doing, but a lot of it really is the way you come across as a person.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, for years I taught like practice building stuff. I know you do a whole lot with business, and you're really launching and empowering people all over the place. But practice building classes are really interesting because there's all kinds of stuff you can do. But in the end, no matter what you do, it comes down to like, do people get interested in what you're doing and want to do something with you?
Right. And just based on that hat alone, I mean, I'm interested.
Oh, good. Good. It sends some people the other way, but I'm glad you're interested. Yeah. That's part of it too. You know, you get the clients who like interested in who you are and what you do.
Right. Exactly. But it's one of the things I think, Till, that I really enjoy talking to you about, and we've talked a little bit about, is, you know, not being afraid just to be who you are. You know, really a large degree of why the clients keep coming back, I think, if I'm hearing you correctly, is, you know, letting them know who you are a little bit with some structure.
Yeah. Right. It isn't like I'm just going to show up in the room and like be and fake it, and that's like enough. You got to do something, and people do want to receive something, so you got to have that together. But it's also like not like you got to be perfect.
No. Fact, that's exhausting. Perfection is unattainable.
There's the idea that people actually come to you because of your imperfections, not because of your perfections. They get a sense, know it or not, of what you're kind of working on as a person, and what you work through and what you're still working on. And that's interesting to them to go, oh, I see. I get that. That looks cool. I want to be around that a little bit, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm. And so you've been going all over the place too. Just, you want to tell us a little bit about where you've been and what you're up to? You've been traveling and teaching, and am I allowed? I mean, it's public knowledge that I am like ready to dance around my office for you that you've been at Google.
Google.
Yes.
Yeah, Google hired us.
Making things happening.
Yeah. They hired me and some of my teachers to come in and do a series of trainings for their in-house massage therapists. And it was cool. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
You can imagine. I mean, it's a unique place to be, a unique place to work as a therapist. So they're working engineers and office workers all the time. And yet they put a lot of attention into trying to make it a good place to work where it's stimulating, creative, flexible. There's some pressure in the background too, but there's people doing really interesting things in really interesting environments. And the therapists brought that too. They're really thinking outside the box and really trying to figure out, how do I reach people who are on machines all day and sitting at their desks all day? And how do I get them involved? And how, what specifically do their bodies need? But then also, how do I get them interested and just being like willing to get up and move too?
Mm-hmm.
And Google was fun.
So can I ask questions? I'm curious.
Sure. Yeah.
I mean, do they have a whole fleet of therapists, or how does it? I mean,
they have a pretty good crew of therapists who work in their various corporate headquarters around the country. However, they have gone, as I understand it, to vendors, meaning third parties who provide those services to their offices now. So there's a whole bunch of senior therapists who were hired over the years. Some of them have been working a long time there. But there's not so many newer therapists, because the newer therapists are coming in under like third-party providers and things like that. So don't go bugging Google saying, hey, can I have a job as a massage therapist? Because they're probably not going to hire you anymore, unfortunately. But find out who the vendors are and go to them if you want to go work in the Google environment.
Cool beans. Yeah. And then one of the other things that I found fascinating about you is there's the sense of calm about you. In our conversations, I found a sense of calm, and I was curious about that sense of calm. And then one day you shared that sense of calm. And so I'm going to ask you to share a little bit more about
what did I say?
That you practiced a little bit of, that you were into a little bit of Zen stuff, and you're a meditator. So, I mean, seriously, I think that's one of the important things that get overlooked with that ability to interact and that lure for clients. Like, it comes from the inside out. And I'm always really attracted to people that do work on themselves. So you tell us a little bit about that.
Cows are really good for that too. Hanging out with cows, they are so chill. They are. They just.
I mean, they are chill.
They are. What a Zen outlook, you know, the Zen of being a cow. So yeah, no, I think, you know, if I want to say like something about that, I think who, you know, one is who we are, but who we are is like a work in progress. So it's like the practices we do to, or the practices we try to do and struggle with, or whatever it is that we are up to, are the things that come through. So yeah, I mean, choose the kind of stuff that you're interested in and brings in the qualities that you want to experience and hang out with them, things you enjoy, you know, whether it's riding your bike or whatever it is, you know, something. It doesn't have to be Zen, doesn't have to be cows, the stuff I'm into. It could be whatever you're into. But that the stuff you do, the stuff you practice is going to be what comes through. It's going to be what gives you some facility in being and doing, and also what colors your what you offer to people. Maybe it's like a friend of mine, Courtney, says he got tired of being half-assed in his life at some point. You know, this is like about my age, you know, in his 50s sometimes. Because I got tired of being half-assed. I was doing a bunch of stuff, and they were kind of fun, and I'd do them, and I'd jump in and out. I wanted to be full-assed about something. And so he, you know, jumped in with both glutes, and he's doing great. And that's how I see it, too. You got to get in that saddle and sit in it. You know, get your full rear in the place and go for it, whatever it is. Yeah.
And I couldn't agree more. And you're definitely very helpful with me in my own life with that. And then another random thing that I wrote down that I don't know if a lot of people know is you do sometimes too with your classes trips abroad. Do you want to talk about that at all?
Yep.
Tell us. Tell us. Tell us.
We're going to Thailand really soon.
How about that?
Yeah, like 2 weeks from now.
How about that?
We got a floating raft house. Yeah, it's like a whole series of like little cottages on floats out in the middle of a huge freshwater lake surrounded by jungle in a national park with a big yoga space. And there's a bunch of us going. And we're going to spend 10 days there doing body work and working on breathing. Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about the breath part.
Yeah. Inhale, exhale. What else do you want to know?
Oh my gosh, Till, just give it to us. Give it to us. Just give me a crumb.
Breath is the deal. Breath is the whole thing. You know, to your body work, to whatever. I mean, of course, you take a breath and you're breathing all the time, think about it or not. And you cue your clients, you say, take a breath, or maybe you'll let them hear you breathing till they come involved. But really, breath is the way that people are involved in what you're doing. And it's the way that you're in your body. It's like the brain perceives movement. It perceives touch, but it also perceives movement. So when you can feel your own breath, you're like in your body. And it's always happening. Unless you're holding it, and then you can feel that. And that's interesting too.
And I think one of the things too that I found fascinating, this always stuck with me with the breath, is I was always like, you know, filling up my chest with my lungs.
Yeah.
But then someone said to me, what about the back of your lungs?
Yeah.
They're 3D.
They are.
And so I've been like breathing not just with the front of my lungs, but the back of my lungs, right? And I'm finding that I'm getting my back, you know, some of that tension in between my shoulder blades is kind of healing from the inside out. Like, I'll tell you a secret. I can actually get sometimes my back to adjust a little by taking that deep breath using the back of my lungs.
That's right.
So in when you're in Thailand, are you going to be sitting and doing breath work, or what are you thinking?
There's sitting in the mornings with some meditation, there's movement and yoga. And then we have like every morning we're doing hands-on work focused around the breath. We're actually working on each other and getting work on the breath. Afternoons are like open lab practice time. Got like 9 teachers there and my faculty and some guest teachers too that are coming in, and then open practice time with the stuff we did in the morning for people to work on each other, breathe, do whatever they want to do. But you're talking about the breath in the back. Did you know you got more lung in the back half of your body than the front?
Why don't people talk about that?
I know. It's wild, but it's totally true. There's a whole lot more lung back there. Here's another one. You know how high your lungs go in your body?
Tell me. I think you told me this before, but I want you to share it.
Yeah, I probably heard all my stories. Your lungs go like above your clavicles. Yeah, here's your clavicle. They go above your first rib. They go into your neck. Your lung lobes go up into your neck, and that's where they're anchored with little ligaments up in there. And
they're powerful things.
No kidding.
I mean, really, without them, we'd be doomed.
Here's your diaphragm, like that when you're breathing. It's actually pulling down on your neck. Yeah. But if you find that dimensionality, find the up down, then your lungs actually are doing this instead of just like pulling your head down into your body like a turtle. Yep, there's an idea to play with. Nice.
So is the class full?
It filled in 6 days.
Whoa.
From announcement. 8, except we just had cancellation. We knew there'd be some people that just, for whatever reason couldn't go at the last minute. So we actually do have an opening.
How about that? Huh?
You want to come?
When is it?
It's like 2 weeks.
Oh my God.
You and a partner.
I would love to. Me and my lovely wife, we bought a house, Till.
Yeah, okay.
So that's going to be happening over the next couple of weeks.
Good time for a vacation.
Oh my God.
Thailand, floating raft house,
breathing with the back of my lungs.
Tropical birds, 9 teachers from all over the world.
All over the world. Who's coming to join you?
Well, Chris and Bruce from my faculty, who also were at the Google events with me. Larry and Bethany, who are teachers at the Rolf Institute and also part of our faculty. Bibiana Badenes, who's a Spanish PT and Rolfer, who's been on a lot of our trips, including our Camino de Santiago walking workshops.
Ooh.
Wojtek Kakowski, one of Tom Meyer's teachers, who's doing his Zoga work, which is like a myofascially focused yoga practice with us. My wife, Loretta, who's a yoga teacher and body worker and counseling psychotherapist. Ekta Bhatia, a physical therapist from India, who's going to tell us about the projects we're going to do with kids in India.
Oh, amazing.
I'm probably forgetting somebody. Laureen Sutton, who runs the Ashland Institute of Massage in Ashland, Oregon, coming there with her partner.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, that's just the faculty.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And what classes do you have coming up beside the Thailand thing? Anything you want to share?
Gosh, I should have had a schedule ready.
Till.
Yeah, I know. Portland this weekend.
Portland,
Oregon. And Colorado in April. Oh, we're having a summer colloquium in Colorado. Tentatively scheduled, Whitney Low, and we're still got some other possible spots, but some of us getting together here in Boulder. Cows will be out to pasture, but there's a lot of other fun stuff to do. Coming here in Boulder, Colorado. Great time to spend the summer. It's the last weekend in July.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and you're invited, and so is anybody else.
Well, I have a feeling that's a little more doable than Thailand in 2 weeks. I'm just saying, I probably could make that.
Yeah. Our mind is the only limitation, seriously. Yeah. There's money. Do you want to talk about money at all?
Money? Sure.
Yeah, money is an interesting topic.
Let's talk about money.
Did you know that humans are the only creatures who do transactions with each other? Oh, I've got to think about that. Yeah.
No, I didn't know that. I never really thought of it like that.
Yeah. Yeah. There's been stuff with training birds to like use tokens for food, and apes, monkeys have been observed actually trading food for sex. That's about as close as it comes. But other than that, humans are the only ones that have value transactions where we engage in this kind of reciprocal economy. And the old model was we used to barter stuff. I had a bunch of cows. You had a bunch of massage.
Cacao was a big one.
Oh yeah.
Cacao is is how they make chocolate.
Yeah.
So it's like a raw chocolate. And then back in the day, that stuff was like gold.
Interesting.
Gold. I mean, now it's a Hershey bar. It's pretty processed, so I don't think you get as much for it. But when it was its original form, that stuff was worth a lot of money.
Yeah. But it turns out like trading our services, trading our favors, doing stuff for each other is basically what knits us together as a species.
I agree.
That's our herd phenomenon. That's what keeps us connected. Because I want you to do well. If I'm doing business with you, you want me to do well. If I'm doing business with you, and then we end up getting tied up in this kind of mutuality.
Yes.
Part of our collectivism. And you could look at it, one side of it as competition, but actually the whole fabric there of what keeps us together is based on a kind of mutuality. And everybody's got to do good for someone to do good.
You know what one of my things is?
Tell me.
That helps me with that?
What's that?
Till is I try to see the similarities, not the differences.
Mm-hmm.
So if I can see the similarities between all the people who are kind of doing similar things to what I'm doing, it just makes it more joyful.
Yep.
Yep. So I do have some cacao if you have any gold.
I got similar glasses to yours.
I really like those. I do.
They help. Oh yeah, look at you. You're looking good there. Now I can see.
Look, I don't wear like a little.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, look at that. In honor of you, Till. Look.
In honor of me. Thank you.
I always put on my special shirts for my special guest.
Yeah, I put on my special hat.
Well, is there anything else you want to leave us with? I just want to kind of touch base with you a little, see how you were doing.
I appreciate
Let
that.
the world know, see your smiling face and hear your wisdom. Hear about your classes.
Yeah.
And all good things.
Great stuff down the pipe. This summer colloquium, lots of good conversations. Oh, the podcast with Whitney Lowe.
Oh, yes. I saw that. Congratulations.
You're coming up on one of those episodes.
Whitney Lowe.
Whitney. And we gave you a shout out.
You did?
We said you're doing good work with people, helping them get launched in this whole thing. So that's coming up. I forget which episode, but you're going to be in there.
Woohoo!
Yeah, so that's a lot of fun.
So they can find that. I found it on your page, on his page. Yeah. All right, yeah. So and they have hot topics, and I mean, you can't really. I mean, that duo, you two together. I mean, what more could you really ask for? I mean, that's that's like a match made in heaven, right there. It really is.
We're having fun.
Yeah,
we got to remember to keep it real. Then at some point, we could talk forever sometimes and get way geeked out on some of this stuff. I'm like, okay, now wait a minute. How do we actually apply this stuff? Let's keep it focused there. That's really the focus,
Good. So yes, listen to Whitney and Till. You got to check out their podcast because I mean, having those two minds and a similar conversation, is definitely worth listening to. What else? Anything else before we go?
How about you? What's coming down your pipe?
What's coming down my pipe?
When is this big cloud of inspiration you're starting? When does that spread out and affect the world?
It's slowly happening. It's slowly happening. One of the things I'm excited to announce is that I will be hosting Master Ohashi out here in Philadelphia in September. And it's interesting. I've gotten the chance to meet you, who I just adore, and all these really great people because we all have so many similarities, right? and Ohashi, I'll tell you, his book was the first book I picked up in 1996 about massage, and it's so funny. As many classes I take, there's just this underlying Ohashiism throughout, so he's one of my first mentors. So to be able to host him here in Philadelphia, I wish you would come, Till.
I would love to come.
You should come.
I would love to come. Let me look at that.
He's so fun.
Yeah. We do teach classes right there next to you, in Philadelphia. So maybe I'll try to get out there.
One of these days. I know. I want you to come to Philadelphia. I would love to host you for a class in Philadelphia too.
That would be fantastic.
It's a whole nother story.
That's a whole other story.
So that's about it. The house has been taking up a little more time. We have 13 awesome massage therapists here. We had Mr. Swaslowski visited us yesterday, so he came out. So listen, James, we've just been plugging along over here in Freedom Massage. So
call him in. Listen to that. You go.
It's so fun. It's so fun. So And I think I'm due for a call with you.
Anytime.
So
I'll
can't
be
do
floating
that.
on a raft in Thailand, totally offline. It's like a digital, what do they call it? Digital detox. It's
Yes.
totally digital detox.
Well,
And
that's
then
the thing.
we're traveling around Asia for 2 months. We're going to teaching in Taiwan, teaching in Australia. We're going to stop in Hawaii on the way home and hopefully see my sister who lives in Kauai. Yeah, but I'll be online. I'll still be doing stuff, you know, when I'm not digitally detoxing.
It's so true. Well, I'm gonna break here. Till if you would hang tight for a second, I'm gonna stop our talk. Till, thank you so much for coming and catching up with us. And
Thanks for all your great work out there.
woohoo!
See you later.
Bye, everybody.